So just to calm Alex down, nobody's telling me what to say. No one's telling me what to do. I'm not involved in the New World Order.
Who's the New World
Just
Order?
a comedian.
Enlighten me about the New World Order.
I'm not sure. I'm
Would
not
you
involved,
please?
though. I just want Alex to know I'm not involved.
Who are those people you eating dinner with the other night? Were you in the New World Order?
Who's the dinner people?
The people you say you were eating with smart people. Who are those
they're
people?
just... These are all podcasters and former professors and all these different people that are doing different things together.
You scared me the other day, though. You had Eddie on the ropes, right? He was thinking you went back with the CIA.
What? What?
Yeah, you got people
Eddie?
on the ropes, sure.
What are you talking about?
He's nothing with the CIA. Who knows?
What?
Nothing. Okay.
What the fuck are you saying?
Don't worry about nothing. Eat a cheap chew. It's the 4th of July. What do you give a fuck? No fireworks in fucking CBS Radford.
I think conspiracies are fun, and that's part of the problem with conspiracies. They're fun. They're fun to chase down. They really are. They're interesting.
I'll tell you what's fun to chase down, to read about one and to absorb it by yourself. Yeah. Once I get into a room with 3 men and we're on a conspiracy for 48 minutes, that's when I get aggravated. Well, that's what I don't ever want to talk about. That's what the shit that kills me. I don't have the time to discuss whether the moon landing or not. We all have an idea what we think happened. Guess what? I really don't want to talk about it. Not on the fucking 4th of July.
Yeah, no. The problem with them is, and this is a tendency, is that when people get really into conspiracy theories, they're into everything being a conspiracy. It's not like they're into conspiracy theories and also into the history of Cuba. They can give you a detailed history of some really crazy shit that went down. Like how many people that are really into conspiracy theories could give you a rundown on how Castro took over Cuba, which is like a real thing that happened in, our parents' lifetimes, right? Think about that. How many people that are into whether or not there's bases on the moon know about, all these different things that have happened through human history. The Mongols, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire. There was crazy shit that definitely really happened. All the stuff that happened during the Vietnam War, all the stuff that happened during the Nixon administration, all that stuff's real. It's fascinating. Fascinating shit to look into. But then you get to dumb ones like, oh, God, are we really discussing whether or not the Earth is flat? Is this a real conversation? Like, people are really doing that? Satellites aren't real?
Go on social media. They're losing their goddamn minds.
You'll find a bunch of people that'll agree with you, too. You got to be so careful about not listening to scientists.
I'm going to tell you what else I saw on Sunday night. Sunday night on the 50 years of 60 Minutes. They was showing how they interviewed different people and how the one guy went to Saddam Hussein, and he said to him, ask him to tell him that this guy said he's crazy. And the interpreter looked at him and says, you think, sorry, I ain't asking him that. And there was one particular interview. He was just talking about the interviewer. He goes, one of the best interviews he ever did was when he pushed the guy, the guy that was standing behind Kennedy in the car, the agent that should have taken the bullet for Kennedy. They interviewed that guy. You got to hunt that one down. That he was one step behind. I mean, he breaks down into tears. He's a real American. Like, this is a guy that's a real American. Took that job, and they're like, it wasn't your fault. And he's like, you don't understand. I was a second behind. If I would have been there just 1 second early, I would have caught it in my back, and the president would have been alive. I mean, it's fucking crazy.
Jesus. Can you imagine being dedicated to protect a guy with your own life?
And to really drink the serum and to believe it like a fucking soldier.
Yeah, those are very special human beings that can do that. It's not a lot of human beings that have that kind of resolve. Will throw their life in front of a bullet to protect someone else's. That's intense. That is intense.
And you have to hear where the bullet is coming from, what your response time has to be. This is when you're a real high-level bodyguard. You are the highest of the highest. Your hearing is impeccable. This means when you're walking down the street with this guy inside, you have to learn by yourself how to shut off nature and noises and listen to footsteps, weapons clicking, holsters opening. Think of how interesting just that alone is. That's why sometimes when you see them, they're holding one ear, because they're zeroing in on anything particular. A car's tires screeching differently. Think of that fucking job, because that's what their job is, to react to that. So if Joe Rogan has 8 guys, when they train, and I don't even know, I've never trained in Quantico, but I just know that I guarantee the first 2 guys, the first 4 guys are lead guys. They have a mission. One guy gets to the door if there's a shooting. The other guy 2 guys duck for the president. There's got to be plans. It's like formations in football.
Jesus.
What if the linebacker goes this way, you run around me? This doesn't take a fucking genius to tell you there has to be formations to protect the president or whoever it is you're protecting in that level.